All right, ladies and gentlemen. Had to make sure that everything was good as far as sound goes. You guys know how it goes with that. But, yo, peoples. Hold on. I forgot to close my door. Had to correct myself because if I don't close the door, then sometimes if Kenzo hears me, he'll start yiping, and then that could potentially bleed into the mic sound wise. I just had to double check with that. But it's good to see everyone here. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here to bring you yet another reaction to One Piece. We're finally off from break, everybody. We got the brand new chapter. The last chapter of September with my reflection stream going to be coming up this upcoming Thursday, since Thursday is going to be the last day of September. So I'm looking forward to the reflection stream then. Let's go ahead and get started with today's chapter, chapter 1026. Chapter 1026, The Pivotal Clash. Reader requests, Nami and Leo fashioning cute clothes for a lion cub. You know, I feel like Nami and Leo would do very well in getting into fashion. Maybe if Papagu got involved with it as well, they could make a very successful business. But just to do a massive recap for the last chapter we got, which was on a 2-week break, it pretty much had Momonosuke in adult Momonosuke in his dragon form. We haven't seen his adult form yet, but in his dragon form, seen flying towards Onigashima, but his fear of heights is still present even in his adult form, so he literally is flying around with his eyes shut, literally crashing into Onigashima, literally just, I know I've been using the word literally a lot in this one sentence alone, but just completely destroying multiple levels of Onigashima, crashing past people still having fights like Big Mom, Law and Kid, and Hawkins, and basically crashing through the performance floor, and literally I did it again. I said literally again. I found myself saying literally so much, but covering every basis of where all the pivotal fights are happening in Onigashima. Then he ends up on the roof where Kaido has pretty much beaten down Yamato, and he sees both Luffy and Momonosuke, and he assumes his dragon form as well, saying that, is that the son of Kozuki Oden? Is that really him? Well, this ought to be interesting. But there's only room in this world for one dragon. There's no room in this world for two. And that pretty much ended that chapter right there. So now we get to see what happens in chapter 1026, The Pivotal Clash. Also, I have a very important message for all of you who are viewing, so if you can stick around towards the end, this is just some short life advice that I want to give you guys. But let's go ahead and get started with The Pivotal Clash. Flower capital in Wano. Everyone is still celebrating with the Fire Festival. Everyone is having a good old time, just partying. And then we see Tengumaru. I keep forgetting his name. Tengumaru. Yeah. The dude with the long Tengu mask. He's there with Toko, asking, "Are you having fun, Otoko?" And she's all like, "Yeah." And then he's silent. And then he's thinking back to when Tama was heading towards Onigashima. Where are you going, Otama?
Forgive me, master. I can't just stay home and do nothing. We will keep her.
And then it has Lady Speed there saying, "We will keep her safe, sir. Come back right this instant." And then he's just literally thinking about Tama, thinking, is the girl all right? No way to know. She's across the sea now. But as he's saying this, the shadow, while he's thinking about wondering what's happening with Tama, you see the shadow of Onigashima literally slowly descending, getting closer to the flower capital. You can see Onigashima in the distance. It's almost there. Remember, we only have, 10 minutes, 15 minutes until it reached the flower capital? Time is winding up. reporting in about the mysterious dragon. Up on the roof at this moment, young Master Yamato bruised and bloodied, and in the air, a sight that makes me question mine own eyes. Mine own eyes. My own eyes! 2 dragons face to face! Master Kaido's a Azure Dragon! And a pirate riding a pink dragon, Straw Hat Luffy! And then Yamato is thinking back to when Momonosuke said,
If only I could be a great big monster like that, I could actually help everyone.
And then it has one of the Marys, because it's one of the Marys of Bao Huang reporting in, saying, the dragon's identity is unknown. And Queen is saying, so Yamato is keeping Kaido busy up there? But it is clearly an enemy. And then Kaido charges up his Borubresse with Luffy saying, he's going to breathe fire. Okay, you spit some back at him. What? Like what? I can't. And Kaido just shoots his Borubresse. But Momonosuke, being the winding Oriental dragon that he is, just winds around the blast, completely dodging it, with him screaming out in fear. And then Momonosuke says, no, stop! I am not here to fight! You picked the wrong person to say this to, Momonosuke. And Luffy says, hey, Momo, And then all of a sudden, wait a minute, wait. I thought for sure that I just skipped over a page, but Luffy just says, hey, Momo, and then Momonosuke says, And then in an instant, we already see Luffy jumping up, imbuing his arm with armament haki, and going gear 3rd. What? Wait, Luffy, no, I cannot do this! And then Luffy goes, gum, elephant! And Kaido looks up at him as Luffy hits him with an elephant gun! And pretty much just craters Kaido into the ground. And Yamato is looking on, and then apparently what Luffy said to Momonosuke is, hey, Momo, bite Kaido and hold on. I cannot do it! And then he thinks back to when Kaido pretty much was there, when Kozuki Castle was set on fire. With him hearing the people say, we're surrounded! It's Kaido! Run, Lady Toki! Mother! And then it shows Kaido gripping Momonosuke by the neck. And all this time, he's had his eyes closed just in fear. He opens his eyes. And then the next thing we see is Momonosuke biting into Kaido, causing Kaido to scream out. Did he actually bite into Kaido and Kaido felt that? And then it's back to a flashback with Kaido saying, your father is a fool of a lord, holding Momonosuke out over the edge of Kozuki Castle, causing him to have that fear of heights. And it shows Momonosuke, I want to say this is him slightly tearing up a little bit while he's biting on thinking of these memories. And Kaido says, what are you doing, boy? And Momonosuke is all like, he's biting down with his eyes closed. He's all like, huh? Uh-oh. And Momonosuke is thinking, you ruined my country. If it wasn't for you, my father and mother would still be. And then Yamato says, get away from him, Momonosuke. And then Momonosuke is thinking, Yamato? And then all of a sudden, Luffy comes in and completely punches Kaido straight in the face. And with this type of blow, we can tell that possibly that Luffy is using Conquerors with this attack, because it doesn't show him physically touching Kaido, but the impact of where the hit would have gone, saying, way to go, Momo! And then Kaido falls to the ground with Momonosuke just looking on. And then it cuts to the treasure repository under the dome with someone saying, dragons bring storm clouds with them. This must be Inuarashi saying this, because this is the exact location where Inuarashi and Jack are fighting right now, saying, dragons bring storm clouds with them. That will be the last we see of the moon tonight. And then Jack is there in his hybrid form, It's kind of unique. You know how Lady Speed kind of looks, because she's a gifter. She's not a complete Zoan. Well, with the way that Jack is set up in his hybrid form, he can still have human arms, but still have the lower half like a mammoth underneath him. So it's kind of like Black Maria with her ancient Zoan hybrid form. She can have her full body at the top, but also have the whole spider part underneath her. That's the same thing with Jack right now, because he still has the full body of a mammoth, but he also has his arms out, holding his special swords out there, saying, "If you landed one more good hit on me, I might not have been able to stand anymore." And it's showing Inuarashi, who's on his knees, and it shows Nekomamushi, who's been bodied by Pedal's Pedal as well. Wow, I thought that Nekomamushi was literally going to beat the crap out of him. But Pedal's Pedal is standing above him with Nekomamushi being bloodied, and Pedal's Pedal has a giant candy battle axe saying, "Don't blame the moon for your troubles. You didn't have bad luck, Perorin. I just got overwhelmingly good luck, boss cat."
Nekomamushi,
says Carrot. "His Sulong wore off." And it shows Inuarashi, and it shows Nekomamushi looking on as they have blood going down their faces. And then it shows the samurai still fighting inside the performance floor, with one of them saying, "Huh? Momo! Huh? Lord Momonosuke?" And we're back up to the roof again, as one of the Marys is spectating this whole fight. "That's an Emperor of the Sea for you. That's an Emperor of the Sea you just took a bite of." And then... Oh, that's Luffy saying that. "That's an Emperor of the Sea you just took a bite out of. Is there a single thing left in the world for you to be scared of?" And he's just looking at Momonosuke, because, think about it, no one in their right mind would think of just biting a Yonko. Luffy's trying to tell him, you bit into, as of right now, one of the most powerful pirates in One Piece right now. Should you really be scared of anything else? If you're brave enough to do that, you're brave enough to do anything. And then Momo is just looking on, saying, "No!" And then it's apparently all these things that Luffy is saying is being broadcast through all of the castle right now, with him saying, "Then go! You can fly! Yeah! Go and stop Onigashima!" And then we cut to Zoro and Sanji, who are still fighting, with Sanji saying, "He just said Momo, right?" And Zoro says, "Yeah, you think that, dragon?" And Sanji says, "Nah, couldn't be." And then Luffy says, "Don't worry about Kaido," as it shows Kaido looming over them. "I guarantee you I'll win!" And since all of this is being broadcast to all of Onigashima right now, all the samurai hear that and they both get their morale boosted. And they're saying, "That's Luffy, Taro, and Lord Momonosuke!" And then Big Mom is laughing at all of this, saying,
Mama! Did you hear that? What a funny guy. You better win.
And then Law, who's there with Kid, because they're fighting Big Mom, like I said before, is saying, "What's he been doing all this time?" And then it has Nami and Usopp and Tama there saying,
Big bro! Momo!
And then we have Frankie just laughing like, "Go get him, Luffy." And then all the rest of the prisoners who were there at Udon are saying, "Luffy, Taro!" And Kaido has assumed his hybrid form, preparing to fight Luffy, saying, "Is there even a single chance you can beat me?" And they both prepare Conqueror's Haki type of Conqueror's Haki imbued attacks towards one another. Kaido with his Kanabo and Luffy with his fists. But Kaido says, "Is there even a single chance you can beat me?" And Luffy says, "As long as I'm alive, I have infinite chances." And they both clash. But they don't even touch each other. Just like Roger and Whitebeard. Oh, the memories. And woo! Yo! Oh! Yo! The Clash of Conqueror's Haki! The moment of Luffy has arrived! The Clash of Conquerors! After Luffy and Kaido clash, the heavens split! It happened. The clash, the big conqueror clash. The clash that only the strongest of the strong is able to accomplish. Roger and Whitebeard, Big Mom and Kaido, Shanks and Whitebeard. Only the strongest of the strong are capable of clashing with each other and causing the skies to split. And it just happened with Luffy and Kaido. Let me continue. This is the moment. Oh, let's go. The Mary's reporting in, the clouds are splitting. And before this Mary could say anything, he faints because of the amount of conquerors that's in the air right now. But in the process of these clouds splitting, it allowed the moon to be shown. Now, mind you, the reason why Inuarashi and Nekomamushi are getting bodied by Jack and Pedal respectively is because the clouds went in front of the moon. But because of this clash between Luffy and Kaido, the heavens have split and cleared all the clouds away. Much to the current dismay of Pedal and Jack. And then, as they assume their Sulong forms, Inuarashi says, "Don't say a word." And Nekomamushi says, "Who are you saying had all the luck?" Oh! Yo! They about to say like, "Oh, you were talking that good stuff a second ago. Then the heavens just split and the moon just shone." Oh! They are about to get stink-meanered, double donkey kicked in the chest right now. And Pedal screaming out like, "Ah!" And both Inuarashi and Nekomamushi says, "Odin one sword style." And they both, yo, Nekomamushi goes, "Feline frenzy!" And using his claws, he pretty much skewers Pedal. Now, for you to get a good idea of how powerful this attack is, you know the candy arm that Pedal has had all this time? That shatters and it shows a massive blow going straight through Pedal. His hat is being destroyed. His arm got shattered completely. And Nekomamushi just impales him. And Inuarashi does the same thing with K9 Cleaver. And he pretty much skewers Jack as well, with a massive blow to the both of them. With the narration saying, "Eldest son of the Big Mom Pirates, Pedal, down and out. Pedal is out. Lead performer of the Animal Kingdom Pirates, Jack the Drought, down and out." And it shows Nekomamushi walking away from Jack. And who do we have down here at the bottom watching this fight between Inuarashi and Jack? None other than the big old loser himself, a person who was so nonchalantly cut down by the Akazaya 9 when they first met him after all this time, the false shogun of Wano, Orochi, thinking to himself, "You're kidding me. There goes Jack, but I guess that's not my problem." Orochi is still alive. Even after being beheaded by Kaido first, then having multiple of his Yamata no Orochi heads beheaded by the Akazaya 9, Orochi is still alive. And that's the end of the chapter. Now, this was a 10 out of 10 chapter. The biggest takeaway from this is that this is the first moment where Luffy is able to clash with another person with Conqueror's Haki with such force and such power that the heavens themselves split. Only the strongest of the strong are capable of doing that. Only the people who the One Piece world regards as the strongest has happened for Luffy. Luffy just split the heavens. It happened. It happened. It literally just happened. Ten out of 10 chapter. Ogata-san, Neil Johnson, Kohagen, Karma, Blaziken. It's good to see every single one of you. Literally is literally a pretty good word to use. I literally can't believe that you literally use literally twice in a sentence. Literally unbelievable that something like that is literally possible. Like, literally. I know. I keep using that word so much and I never really paid attention to it. One Piece is going to be on Dragon Ball type timing with the 15 minutes. Luffy's biting through his own haki to inflate his fist. Luffy can take Luffy in a fight. Power scaling divides by 0. Like a centaur. Essentially. I feel like with the... Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Queen has a hybrid form, but he still has a human-like stature. Whereas Jack has a hybrid form and still has like the entire mammoth half of his body at the bottom, but it can have his arms out as well. So can you choose to be like centaur-like with an ancient Zoan type, or choose to be fully hybrid if you want to? Pedals Pedo gets underestimated a lot. Welcome, Emperor Luffy. You're in the big leagues now. I love that even Luffy reaches this achievement. Sky splitting isn't only a showcase, it has fallout. The story does not stop. I can say is Luffy is a Yonko level now, but other people still don't believe that Luffy is a Yonko level. For real though, after seeing this clash, Luffy is clashing with an Emperor. Split skies. That's Pedals candy arm shattering, right? He didn't lose his good arm. No, he didn't lose his good arm. He lost the candy arm that he replaced with the one that Pedro took from him. Jack an all-star, but still one of the most uninteresting characters this arc. I feel like we haven't seen enough of Jack in this arc for him to be up there with King and Queen. We've seen so much more from King and Queen. We have more stuff revealed from King and Queen than anything else. The most interesting thing we know of Jack is the fact that he's a fish man who also has a devil fruit. That's why he didn't drown when Zunisha destroyed his ship and left him at the bottom of the ocean motionless. That's the most unique thing we know of Jack. That's it. But with King and Queen, Queen is a cyborg who has worked with Germa, who has knowledge of who King is and his type of race. It has knowledge of Germa and everything else. King is the last Lumerian of his race, a kingdom that used to sit where Marijois sits right now. Before the world government even existed, his race came from a kingdom that sat atop the Red Wall. So many theories from that. But Jack, he's a fish man with a devil fruit to turn into a mammoth. That's it. That's all that Jack has offered us in terms of personality and backstory and everything. King and Queen are far more interesting than Jack. And you would think that in an arc where he is showcased with Kaido and the rest of them, that we would find out a little bit more than Jack. But the only thing we know about Jack is that he's a fish man. He has a mammoth ancient Zoan devil fruit. And that King and Queen treat him like the nobody. That's it. Jack has literally had no character development at all. Did I stand up when he split the sky? Karma? Yes, I did. Tahiti, no one will kill Orochi. He will kill Kaido and then get arrested or whisked away somehow. Kaido beheaded this man so nonchalantly. Orochi is nowhere near the level of being able to kill Kaido. He's not even at the level of being able to defeat Kinemon and the rest of them, even with a devil fruit. Kinemon literally just blitzed this dude when he took his Yamato no Orochi form, which is a Zoan form which should have more strength and durability over him than his regular body, and Kinemon and the rest of the Akazaya 9 just cut off all his heads and says, "We don't have time for you." You think that Orochi has even a small smidgen of a chance of standing up to Kaido? The Akazaya 9 did more damage to Kaido than Orochi could ever hope to do. And even then, it was superficial damage. Orochi ain't killing nobody. He gets other people to do that for him. But no, he ain't killing nobody. Let me see what else she said. Let's see. Luffy is admiral level at best. I'm pretty sure some people would debate that. They see him splitting the sky and they'll automatically assume he's Yonko level. But I feel like if he can fight evenly with Kaido without effort, then we can put him on Yonko level. If he's able to fight with Big Mom, that's the test right now. Sure, Kaido is an absolute beast in strength, but Big Mom is the test with endurance and durability. If you can harm Big Mom despite her durability, then I'll consider you Yonko level. Because as we've seen, nothing can really hurt Big Mom except herself. Because the only time we've actually seen her get bruises or bleed even a slight little bit was when she was thinking about Mother Caramel. She let her guard down completely and just screamed out in complete anguish and dropped down to the ground. And after dropping down to the ground, her knee started to bleed just a little bit. That is the only injury we have ever seen Big Mom have. And that's something that she did to herself just by dropping down. Other than that, nothing has been able to pierce her skin at all. So if he can beat Kaido in strength, that's strength. But the real test is endurance. If he can out-endurance Big Mom, that's an achievement. Let me go back. Luffy can't beat Kaido in 1v1, bruh. He is the main character. We get mad every time when he loses against Kaido, but when he wins against the strongest character, it's always, think about the fight with Katakuri, though. Nope, he can't. If he does, it's because of plot. If Luffy beats Kaido, let me see. Then, Luffy, because he's the main character and it's Oda's story, but we'll see. Oda literally said he doesn't know how Kaido will be defeated. Hey, if Oda doesn't know, then we can't really say too much of that. Can Big Mom beat Kaido 1v1? She's Yonko level. Can Blackbeard beating Kaido 1v1 would put Luffy above Yonko level. Sky splitting puts him on Yonko level. Blackbeard can't beat Kaido. I mean, the Gorosei are the ones who said that Kaido is the only one capable of beating Blackbeard. So imagine he loses to Luffy in a 1v1. It's called a cheap shot after Luffy wins. Still don't think Orochi's gonna do anything. Seeing as how he's had his life flash before his eyes far too many times during this entire arc already, I feel like he thinks he's out of his league. Either Kaido's observation hockey sucks, or Orochi is good to going to stealth. Okay, he's Yonko level, but the weakest one. Yeah, I would say if Luffy is on Yonko level, he's still the weakest out of all of them. Yonko level means he could beat an admiral, though. Ooh. And if Luffy loses, how does its development progress? It's totally, but it's Luffy, the main character. We just have to see where Oda's going to take this story. That's actually a good thing to bring up. If Luffy is Yonko level, does that mean he can take on all the admirals currently, right now? Like, can he take on Fujitora? Can he take on Kizaru? Can he take on Sakazuki? After the events of today, can any of you say that he can take on the admirals? Given their current power right now. That's actually a good test. If he can take on admirals, just casually take on admirals. Casually take on a man who can literally move at the speed of light and shoot lasers that explode out of his fingers. Casually take on the man that killed his brother and also has one of the most destructive devil fruits, as even for a Logia type, under his belt. Can he take on an individual who can manipulate gravity to the point where he can pull meteors from the sky? Can he take those individuals on? That's something to think about. We may say that Luffy's Yonko level, but in order for you to be regarded as Yonko level, he has to be able to take on people who are regarded just underneath that level. So if Luffy is regarded as Yonko level, then there shouldn't be an issue where people say like, oh, he can take on an admirals. But given the strength of the current admirals right now, can you honestly say he can take them on? One at a time. Not all at once. Not like with Whitebeard and the whole Paramount War. I mean, one at a time, 1v1. Do you think Luffy can take on Kizaru by himself? Do you think he can take on Akainu by himself? Do you think he can take on Fujitora by himself? It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say to put power scaling, because just because you're called a Yonko doesn't mean that your strength currently meet. This is a tricky subject to go down on. It really is, because power scaling is not like that of DBZ where they just dismissed it all together, and then you're just strong if you have like multiple different forms like in Dragon Ball. One Piece is different. So it's not like there's a certain power scaling that you can adhere people to that you automatically assume, oh, they're strong because they are right here. It's kind of tricky. Well, Sakazuki doesn't count because he's Fleet Admiral. True. I'm confident he can fight Kizaru, Fujitora, and Ryokugiyu 1v1 separately. Well, Ogata-san, we really can't put Ryokugiyu in that category because we still haven't met the man! When are we going to meet this guy? Y'all too caught up with the sky split thing. Like, who cares? Everyone who cares about how significant that is, because only... Karma, the thing with the sky split thing, to you, it may not seem like it's all that significant, but only the strongest people in the series, are really capable of doing that. At least the people that we've seen. Now, mind you, that does not mean that Luffy is the most powerful in the series, like one of the most powerful in the series. It's just a significant plot point that is important for people who regard those who have conquerors as substantially powerful individuals. There's more than just like, oh, he split the sky, it's a good set piece. It signifies that this person is of great significance for the future of this character as a whole. I'm not saying it has no meaning or anything, but it's the fact that Karma, it's the fact that it's not a small thing. There's a reason why people are still going on about the whole sky split thing, is because it's a very important thing. It's not something that it's just, okay, awesome moment, and then you move on. No, that has some really big significance. But putting him levels above other characters just because of that makes no sense. See, that's the thing, Karma. I haven't said that I regard Luffy as Yonko level, but it's very easy. I can understand why people would say that. Because they only attribute the skies being split by all the Yonko level people that we've seen in the past. So it's easy for people to say that. But it's significant because that means that Luffy's character is progressing towards that stage. Now, does this put him on the same level? Think about it. Before Luffy fell off, he still could split the sky, but what happened? He lost clearly. Crystal clear, so he's not Yonko level. See, just because he split the sky does not mean he is on Yonko level quite yet. But him splitting the skies is a clear sign that he is capable of reaching that level. Because only Yonkos have been seen splitting the skies. So he's on the path to doing that. Not splitting the sky does not automatically make you a Yonko, because if that was the case, then Blackbeard would not be regarded as a Yonko, because we never seen him split the skies. Because only people with conquerors can do that. But I just feel like this is a step in the direction of him going towards that level. This is the start. This is the initiation for him to go towards it. It's a great feat. It is. It is a significantly great feat. But just to clarify for everyone, this does not mean that Luffy can be called a Yonko right now. Like because think about it, if when Luffy used Conquerors way back in like what, Amazon Lily? All the way back then, you can't just call him like, oh, he knows Conquerors. That means he is right up there with us. Because he wasn't. He's like right up there with Boa Hancock. Because she can use Conquerors. But he wasn't. It just lets us know that he has the capacity to reach that level of advanced hockey users. He has the it shows that he has what it takes to get to that level. Which means that this sky-splitting moment for Luffy means he has what it takes to get to the Yonko level. It doesn't mean that he's a Yonko right now. We cannot call him a Yonko right now. But him splitting the heavens, clashing with Kaido, with their own Conqueror's Haki being so potent that it splits the skies, it means that Luffy is capable of reaching that level. He has the capacity to reach that level. Now, how long will it take him to be regarded as one fully? Who can say? But this is a tease. This sky-splitting moment, it's a tease. It just lets us know that Luffy has what it takes. Not that he's attained it already, but he has what it takes to get there. And that's all I can say about him splitting the skies and him being regarded as Yonko level. He has what it takes now. That's all I can say. I think it does put him on the level, just that Kaido, who has been on the level for decades, is even further beyond the base requirements. See, Kaido is a different structure altogether. He's just strength incarnate. But I stick by what I said by saying that Luffy may not be on the Yonko level as like Kaido and the rest of them, but he has what it takes to get to their level. How Luffy will reach a Yonko level, he needs to be the Yonko. Like Luffy right now is boxing Kaido in base form and not using a gears. See, that's a significant thing as well. While Kaido is clashing with Luffy, Kaido is in his hybrid form. And mind you, Kaido in his hybrid form is far stronger than his base form. And Luffy has not used gears at all. I don't think y'all realize that the Luffy before falling off the island and the Luffy now should be the same Luffy, and he still lost easily to Kaido. We'll just... It doesn't matter if it's the Luffy that fell off, and the Luffy that came back, and the Luffy that's clashing with him. Luffy adapts. That's what his entire character is known for. Sure, he may lose multiple times, but he learns from it and adapts quickly. Now, I'm not going to contribute this to him being able to clash with Kaido so easily right now, but you can't deny that he kind of learned from the last few times that he lost and has adapted extremely fast. He's like Goku. Goku is not the brightest on anything. Dude needs a grocery list with pictures of the food he needs. But when it comes to fighting, he is absolutely a genius. Same with Luffy. If it doesn't involve fighting or eating meat, I mean, you can't really have his help with really too much. But when it comes to fighting, he adapts quickly and learns from his past mistakes, and his body starts to guide him towards being able to handle that same situation better than the last time he lost. So Luffy adapts. It's the same Luffy, but he's also learning. He's not just coming back the exact same way every time he loses. He comes back a little bit smarter in the fight than he did before. That's all I'm saying. The fight with Luffy versus Katakuri is different. That's another conversation, but how Luffy wins against that fight, he learns the strategy of fighting, he learns observation, he learns while he fights. That's how Luffy's always been. He learns on the fly. So sure, it may be the same Luffy that's lost multiple times, but this is also the same Luffy that comes back every time he loses and learns something new and adapts and winds up beating the person that thought that they could just use the same old thing on him and not expect him to learn. That's how Luffy behaves. It's not plot armor, it's his character. But that's all I can say about that. I've been going on this for a little bit far too long. We will come back to this conversation when we do this week's reflections for these past chapters. That way I'll have plenty of time to go in depth because I'll have the day off. And then we could go back into the subject if you guys would like to, and we can talk more about it. I know this is a very heavy type of conversation when it comes to character development and plot armor that we see so prevalent in series so much. But I really want to continue this conversation when we do our reflections, so that way I don't feel like I'm being rushed or anything. Well, he's already an emperor because of fake news Morgans, but I feel like he's ready now. Maybe he can't beat Shanks, Kaido, Big Mom, or Blackbeard, but Luffy is one of the top 5 pirates in One Piece. Yeah, but how does he out of nowhere be able to split the sky? That means his haki got stronger for literally no reason, and why is that? Plot. You also forget, I think you're forgetting, Karma, that the strength of one's haki is based on their willpower. And as we've seen, Luffy has had the absolute steadfast focus of beating Kaido. You kind of forget that the willpower of the individual is what strengthens them. And I mean, Rayleigh said that your haki grows stronger when you're put in when you're put in life-threatening situations, or when you are literally back against the wall, your haki can become stronger. Rayleigh literally just confirmed this to us, so it's not plot armor, it's actual plot, because Rayleigh explained this to us before. I don't know if you forgot it, but Rayleigh kind of explained to us how this is happening. I don't know if people keep overlooking that, but this has already been explained to us, how a person with haki can get stronger by putting themselves in far more dangerous situations in order for their haki to become stronger, strengthening their will. This has already been explained. Rayleigh already told us. Grandpa Hugh already told us. We already know this. So for Luffy to be doing this, it should not be a really big surprise to us at all, because this is the exact situation that Rayleigh was talking to us about. Haki grows stronger the more difficult the battle. Plain and simple. We've known this already. So this means when Kaido realizes this is serious, his haki should levels above Luffy, right? Should. If it's a difficult fight, one's haki can improve. It's not just specifically for Luffy, it's for anyone who uses haki. So if the situation gets to that point, then it can happen for Kaido. But it's not going to happen, like you say, because the plot, not plot armor, the plot is probably not going to go in that direction. But at the same time, we can't assume to know what the plot is going to do because we're not Oda. We can stand here debating whether or not this makes sense, or whether plot armor is carrying Luffy or not, for literally until nighttime. But it doesn't change the fact that no matter what we think, Oda has a different idea of how these things go on in mind. And all we have to do is just wait for the next chapter, which is next week, actually. So we're not going on break. So we're getting a new chapter next week. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what happens when we inevitably cut away from all this fighting and go to something completely different. Because the plot, literally what I've been saying. See, the thing is, it's not... Alright, Karma. We get it. We get it. You've been feeling some type of way about this whole Luffy versus Kaido thing for literal chapters, like endless. I can't remember the last time you had something to say about Luffy versus Kaido, but this is something that's been on your mind for quite a while. One is Reflections on the 30th, which is this upcoming Thursday. We'll talk more about it then. But one thing I can say about Karma is when it comes to his ideals, specifically towards this Luffy versus Kaido thing and power scaling and whether Luffy is capable of beating Kaido, he has been steadfast in his ideals forever. which is what I applaud him for. This dude does not back down from what he feels about this whole Luffy versus Kaido situation, so I applaud him for literally sticking to his guns. Even when, we carry on this conversation for little hours concerning it. You gotta admire Karma's tenacity to stay true to his own word. So, hey, man, all I can say is that I'm glad we have these conversations, and I'm glad we actually have these differences when it comes to One Piece, and everyone isn't like a hive mind of consumed product. One Piece is good. This chapter was great. Splitting the Heavens was awesome, and we are all just unanimous in how awesome we think this chapter is. I like having conversations when we have differences, where we can go back and forth and have meaningful conversations. Because it opens up brand new perspectives. Which is why I can't just, I'm not going to tell Karma that he's wrong for saying whatever he is. Because he has every right to say what he wants. Which leads into even more conversations. Which is what I want. So, thank you, Karma, for adding flavor to all these conversations that we have. Because I enjoy them. Power scaling is still more or less consistent in One Piece, it's just that the situations are so complex, which makes formulation of the entire power scaling map hard. See, that's the thing. We can't really use a power scaling map in order to scale people, because it's not a real big concept for One Piece. One Piece doesn't have consistent power scaling. Oda will tweak everything in order to fit in the story. I mean, look at Dragon Ball Super. There's so much random power scaling where people are stronger than people, and then people become weaker, and then other people become stronger, that it's hard to keep the power balancing, the balancing stable. Consume product, stream is great, all hail Kushu. Do not say that. I'm just here to entertain. I am not someone that you need to say all hail to. I am not that good. I am not that good enough to get that type of praise. But overall, I appreciate these. I love these streams when we talk. I really love these streams where we just talk. No problem, Karma. I always love the cover conversations that you bring to these types of reactions. I need to go ahead and end this, however, because we have... What series does have power scaling? Hunter x Hunter, maybe? I think they do, where they balance with, like, Nen power. I believe Hisoka was the first one that I recognized would do power scaling against people, but I don't know if that's a universal thing in the series. But thank you, everyone, for joining into this meaningful and wonderful conversation about One Piece as a whole. People are going to be talking about this chapter for quite a long while, from Roger's Base to the Grand Line Review to Brago Diaz and pretty much everyone. Tekking, I wouldn't be surprised, for Neverworld, King of Lightning, yeah, everyone. They're going to be talking about this. You excited for the next couple of anime episodes till 1,000? You know me, I'm going to be doing reactions until we get through that 1,000, and then I'll continue doing reactions to those episodes when we go past. DBZ doesn't have story like One Piece. I mean, it does have a story. It's just that people read it for the fights and what have you. One Piece, however, does have a lot of story. There's so much exposition that we actually need it to be explained to us on SBS in order for us to find out things. Like, apparently, Apu's Devil Fruit has been explained in the recent SBS. Hold on. I believe his Devil Fruit name has been confirmed during SBS. Not in the actual chapters, but in an SBS with Oda. His Devil Fruit is called the Oto Oto no Mi. We have a name for Apu's Devil Fruit. The Oto Oto no Mi. The Sound Fruit. Because if I go down here, among named fruits, this one currently has the longest gap between when its power was first shown and when it was named at 13 years and 30 days. 514 chapters were released between its usage debut and when it was named in a Vivre card. So you know how talking about this chapter until Thursday when they put out the next one and everyone does the next scan chapter. You see the teaser art for episode 1000? I have not. So you know how we found out the name of Kid's Devil Fruit? We found out it was called the Jiki Jiki no Mi. That's from a SBS Vivre card. Now we find out Scratchman's devil fruit called the Sound fruit, the Oto Oto no Mi, through a Viver card as well. There are tons of things revealed in Viver cards that are not revealed in chapters. I might have to do a moment where we go through the Viver cards and just see what's all on them, because there's tons of information on Viver cards that are not in the chapters that pretty much answer a lot of questions that I've been asking. We've all been asking. Like, when are we going to get the name of Scratchman's Devil Fruit? And we find out through a Viver card that it's the Oto Oto no Mi. So we actually have a name to it now. Took forever, literally 13 years, for us to find out the name of it. It used to be Kid's Devil Fruit that had the longest gap between us finding out what it was called and the like. I think Toei has a special episode for episode 1000. I think it's not going to be an episode, but a special episode like reanimated scenes in the past arc. I'm looking forward to it. But so much stuff about the Viver cards. We might do a little small segment when we're done with reflections on this upcoming Thursday. We might do a small segment where we go through the recent Viver cards and see if there's any recent information on there as well. Marco and King's bounty was revealed in there too. Wish it was in chapters though. Yeah, a lot of these reveals, I wish they were in chapters, like when we see, when they explained what Scratchman's Devil Fruit was and the weaknesses of it. I would have liked for us to find out the name of the Devil Fruit in that chapter when Killer was telling them all, close your ears, if you can't hear the sound, then you can't be affected by his Devil Fruit. I would have liked for that chapter to let us know that, hey, this is the name of Scratchman's fruit. But yeah, and you say that we found out the bounties of both King and Marco, so let me look up Marco's real quick, and then I'll bring the stream to a close because I got to do My Hero, and then I got to do today's One Piece episode. So, going to Marco, his bounty is 1,374,000,000. That is the bounty of Marco. Interesting. He's a billion berry bounty man. Right up there with King and Queen. So let me pull up King. And I think my family just got here. Pull up King, and his bounty is slightly higher than Marco's. His is 1,390,000,000. So King's bounty is slightly higher than Marco's. At least like what? I want to say 16 million berries higher. Yeah, his King's bounty is about 16 million berries higher. But that's interesting. Well, look, but yeah, like I said, we'll have a segment where we talk about Viver cards after we're done with reflections on Thursday, because I feel like there's a lot of information that we wish to know, but we don't know. Have I never looked at them, or are you just saying having a discussion about them? Here's the thing, Tahiri. I have never looked at every single Viver. I've never really looked at Viver cards at all. I think I've only looked at one, and that was only to find out that Sengoku is the only Marine that we know of in the world government that is capable of using all types of Haki, or at least being able to use Conqueror's Haki. The only Marine that we know of that can use Conquerors. That's how I found out that Sengoku had it. Just by reading a Viver card, but that was literally sometime, I said literally again, that was last year. Sometime last year. That's how I found out. But I'll have a segment where we just bring up the Library of Ohata, because they have an entire catalog of all the Viver cards, and look at the most recent ones and find out anything that we don't know through the chapters. Because if Oda doesn't put it in his chapters, he puts it in Viver cards. So we'll have a segment once we're done with reflections, and we'll go over it. Is Act 3 going to be the final act in Wano? We still have the Warlord stuff, Sabo thing, and Vivi. We still got there's DJ, we're gonna have to talk about that during reflections, because there's just so much ground to cover. There's just so much ground to cover with what happens after Wano is done and over with. But we'll cover that. We'll cover that in a whole. We'll cover that in the reflections as well. There are, so I've heard, third hand, some kabuki plays that have 3 acts. If it makes you feel better, I say by the way a lot. Yeah, I find myself saying literally so often. It's not something that I'm bothered by, but I don't know if you guys pay attention to it and then it kind of bothers you. That's why I'm trying to watch myself a little bit. Because I could say literally over and over and over again, literally say it all the time, just like I said. And it won't bother me. But you know how it is with some people. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's where I'm going to have to end it for today. Lots of things to think about, and some subjects we are going to have to definitely bring back up when we do the reflections later this Thursday. So I hope to see you all there. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And little bit of advice that I said I was going to say at the end of this, live, everybody. Just, life is short. I was at church today, and my pastor was talking about how a dear friend of his literally just passed away, and he was saying that you need to live. You need to live life. Don't just let life pass you by, because it'll pass you in an instant. Like, I have a god niece who's so small that you could literally hold her in your hands, and now she's getting big where she's able to walk around on her own and she's talking and everything. Time flies ever since she was born. So if you live your life. Don't just think about things that could have been. Don't live life with regrets. Do things you want to do now. Go out, see the world, do all sorts of things. Just live, because the next second is not promised to you. I know a lot of people behave like they're just going to breathe like everything is fine and then just continue on with their lives like nothing is ever going to happen to them. Because when people look back on your life, what will they say about you? Are they going to say that you enjoyed life to the fullest and you had a good time? Or are they going to say, well, he wish he could have did this. He wish he could have just said that. Just live. And that's all I got for you guys. Just enjoy life. I know for me, I'm going to enjoy life. I enjoy life doing this, and I enjoy life doing other things, so I'm going to live. So, to cap out my intro, have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.